What's up guys, it's me Deshaun. You guys know the drill. Like and subscribe and let's jump into the video. Now for the weakest devil hunter, or should I say weakest devil hunters, we have Aldo, Joey, and their older brother. These guys are practically at the same level as regular street thugs. They actually can't do anything special when it comes to their devil contract, aka their contract with the skin devil. It doesn't seem like it does anything very practical when it comes to combat or anything revolving around it. But when it comes to infiltration, it seems like it would be the most useful. Because with the skin devil, you're able to turn your face into the face of somebody else's after you kill them and touch them. But outside of that, there's really nothing going on with these guys. They're so fodder. Like, you know you suck when you get bopped by Kobeni's car. Up next, we have Kusakabe. Despite being the user of a very strong devil, the Stone Devil, unfortunately, it seems as though he's very weak. Despite having a broken ability by simply blowing and turning things to stone, it seems as though that since he's simply a regular human, he can easily get overwhelmed while trying to do this. But not only this, he'd have to be strong enough to maintain his stance on top of this magic circle, so he'd be able to use this ability in the first place. To put it simply, get him off this circle and he loses. That's not impressive anymore. Up next, we have a group of miscellaneous Fox contract users. Basically generic soldiers that use the Fox contract, but they don't really do anything or just simply get bought. Orai, Nakamura, Nomo, and an unnamed lieutenant. Outside of simply having the Fox Devil, which basically has some pretty decent flexibility considering that it gives you a good range of offensive options because the Fox Devil could simply attack you with his claws or actually just eat you. Yeah, we got a giant stand that looks like a fox and it just beats the shit out of everyone. But yes, outside of notably having the Fox Demon, all of these guys are background characters. And as generic background characters, they probably have generic combat ability. AKA, they're boring. And I don't care about them. Up next, we have Himeno, and she actually has a contract with the Ghost Devil, giving her the ability to make a ghost hand that she can choke you with. But not only this, as it chokes you, you cannot interact with it, meaning you cannot fight it back. It also seems as though the Ghost Devil, even though I hate to make another comparison to JoJo because Chainsaw Man is respectively its own manga and so is JoJo, but her ability is very similar to that of the hand from JoJo, where she's able to snatch this amount of space and delete anything within its radius. It's not as glorified as the hand, but it works similarly. Unfortunately, since this is a Devil Hunters video, I'm not going to include the full incarnation of the Ghost Devil. So if you're wondering why Himeno is so low, that's probably why. Up next, we have Pingsy. Now when I say this applies to all of the girls that work under Quan Chi. So if you have any further questions on their placement, here's your answer to them. When it comes to all four of these girls, they are devil hunters and they are fiends. But unfortunately, there's not that much information given when it comes to these characters. But due to the fact that they're fiends, devil hunters, and that they're confident enough to want to fight Kishibe, and if they're skillful enough to actually get away from Kishibe, that tells me that these girls have pretty decent combat ability. After all, Quan Chi is so confident in their abilities, she lets them handle her leftovers. So yes, I do not want to explain this 4 times, so this applies to all of Quan Chi's girls, which would be Pingsy, Long, Sugihagi, and the Cosmos Fiend. But yes, when it comes to Pingsy, what makes her dangerous, outside of her combat abilities, the fact that she can see what type of devils that you have, and that would most likely give her a good opportunity on developing a counter for you. For example, she knows that you have a contract with the Fox Devil, she knows how the Fox Devil is going to operate, and she's going to stay out of its range or anything like that. Very simple ability, but super effective. Up next, we have Beam. As a shark fiend, he has the ability to obviously bite you like a shark. But here's the real kicker. He can swim through any surface. Dirt, he can swim in it. A wall, he can swim in it. You name it. The manga says it. But despite this nice ability, I don't think he's standing a chance against the person next on the list. And that would be Akane Sawatari, the user of the Snake Devil. The Snake Devil is so strong, it was capable of one-shotting the full manifestation of the Ghost Devil. But not only this, I think that would easily make the Snake Devil stronger than the Fox Devil. And Akane has a devil like this at her disposal. And there's no doubt in my mind that the Snake Devil could defeat Beam. Beam would have to get close to the Snake Devil to even damage it, but I don't even think he'd be able to catch the Snake Devil. And I think the Snake Devil would also just simply eat him as well if he was trying to eat it. Now up next we have Kobeni. Despite not having any crazy abilities like Beam or Kane, she is so skilled with her movement abilities. She was able to dodge the Snake Devil like it was nothing and damage the Katana hybrid. If she's capable of doing this, she could simply dodge the Snake Devil and kill Akane. And if she could do this, I would also put her above Beam because I believe that the Snake Devil is bigger and faster than Beam. Now up next we have Princey. Not only do I believe that more people fear spiders than they do sharks, but it seems as though Princey might have similar, if not mobility options, better or as good as Kobeni. When you take these extra appendages into account, I think it would be a lot easier for her to jump around and dodge attacks and deal them as well. And then you take into account that she is not actually a fiend, but a full manifestation of the Spider Devil, simply taking the form of a human body. Up next, we have the Cosmos Fiend with debatably the strongest attack in the entirety of the series. Now this attack could put her high on the list, maybe even top 3 on the list because of how broken it is. But that all determines on whether or not she can hit it. But even then, that doesn't mean that the people that are lower than her aren't capable of dodging this same attack. So either she'd be the last one on the list or she'd be top 3. And I think this placement is fair enough when you put both of those things into consideration. A broken attack that could kill the strongest devils and the strongest people on this list, but even some of the weakest characters have the potential of dodging it. And then you take into account that she might have some type of decent combat ability because she works under Quan Chi, but she's kind of debatably not even the smartest of the 4. But you guys get my drift. Up next we have Long, and she definitely has the best combat ability outside of all of Quan Chi's girls, and easily the best ability in terms of offensive options with the ability to breathe fire. Not only are you damaging somebody at a considerable rate, but you're also taking up space with that same fire. How can you get close enough to Long if a big wall of fire is right in front of you? How long can you keep dodging if that fire is taking up the same space that you can move into? Fire breath, very slept on. Very, very slept on. Up next we have the Angel Devil. By the mere touch of the Angel Devil, he can actually drain years of your life. And then he'll take this same amount of years that he just drained from you and turn that into any weapon that he sees fit. And despite not having much elaboration on this, many of these weapons have special abilities like cutting down ghosts and other unknown abilities that we don't know of. But it seems as though cutting ghosts and interacting with them would be the simplest form of capabilities that these weapons have. But not only this, it seems like the Angel Devil's combat ability with these weapons are pretty nasty. Up next we have Hirofumi Yoshida, the user of the Octopus Devil. And respectively so, it seems as though he will be the start of the heavy hitters on this list. He's so strong he's actually able to go up against one of the top 5s on this list in terms of hand-to-hand combat. He's so skilled that during this fight, he's even able to recognize that she has abnormal human strength and speed and is able to still keep up with her. As far as his contract with the Octopus Devil is concerned, not only can he damage you with the tentacles of the octopus, but he can make an ink-like smokescreen, blind you, and take advantage of any blind spot you might have when it comes to his next attack. And above Hirofumi, we have Aki. To be quite frank, I think that Hirofumi is easily a lot more skilled than Aki when it comes to fighting, but not only this, he's obviously stronger and faster than him as well. But what puts Aki above him are his contracts. His contract with the Fox Devil, which unfortunately I don't think is stronger than the Octopus Devil, but it could more or less decently fend off against the Octopus Devil. His contract with the Cursed Devil, which basically allows Aki to one-shot you or at least severely damage you. And his most notable contract that puts him so high on the list, his contract with the Future Devil. With the Future Devil, he's able to look into the future for up to 5 seconds. But these 5 seconds make a major difference in any fight, and was a main reason as to why Aki was able to keep up with one of the top 10s on this list. With decent combat ability and busted contracts, one of those being the ability to look in the future, there's no doubt in my mind that Aki would be above Hirofumi, despite Hirofumi actually outclassing him. Up next, we have Power, and this is not including her demon form, this is just regular Power. Now with the abilities to manipulate blood and actually having unlimited resourcefulness with it, and then you take into account that Power can regenerate and also get stronger by consuming blood. When it comes to her and Aki fighting, I feel like it's an extremely close fight, but I feel like Power would come out on top. Similar to how Aki was getting overwhelmed by Rize. Despite using the Future Devil, I feel like Power would do something similar, if not the same, in terms of her fight with Aki. Despite Aki putting up a good effort in damaging power, she would be regenerating and then creating blood weapons to use at close range and long range, and then you take into account her training with Kishibe. I think over time, Aki would get overwhelmed. Up next, we have Kato Tanabe, the user of the Mold Devil. The only reason why he's placed so high outside of being a generic Devil Hunter is because his Devil contract is extremely broken. His contract with the Mold Devil. With the Mold Devil, you can grow mold inside of anybody's body. And if you were to grow inside their brain, they would literally not be able to fight. This ability is so strong, it can literally take down everybody on this list, except for maybe 1 or 2 people. Respectively, this could actually be placed even higher. But I decided not to place it any higher because after all, a generic Devil Hunter is using this devil. In the hands of somebody more capable, I definitely do think it could be higher on this list. Up next, we have the Katana Hybrid. I would say by what is displayed in the manga, it seems as though he's the weakest out of all the weapons hybrids. But it's hard to say. He got overwhelmed by the Ghost Devil, but in a one-on-one fight, he completely destroyed Denji. It's really hard to say. There's nothing really too notable about him outside of him being the Katana Hybrid, automatically making him stronger than your typical Fiend or Devil, or in this case, Devil Hunter. But I will definitely say his combat ability is great, and it's definitely above most people on this list. When he hits his Katana stance, it moves so fast that it seems as though he's teleported behind you, and before you know it, you're either dead or you've lost a limb. And this attack was the same move that was giving Denji a run for his money. Up next, we have the Violence Fiend, but to be more specific, without his mask. Despite us not seeing a clear cut of the Violence Devil's strength without his mask, I think it would be safe to say, due to what he was capable of doing against the Darkness Devil, and the disgusting amount of durability he displayed while fighting it, because no matter what happened to him, whether or not he had holes blasted through him, he still just kept getting back up and refusing to die. A full strength kick against Rize with his mask on impressed her. Now just how strong would this kick be with his mask off? For her to commend his kick with his mask on and say that it was pretty good, I do think that if he'd had his mask off and damaged her with full strength, it would be a different story. Up next, we have the various weapons hybrids, even though there's not much that can be said about these guys, because we see them all get absolutely destroyed by one of the strongest characters in the entire series, and the fact that we know little to nothing about them, I do feel like that above the Violence Fiend would be a safe placement for them. After all, they're hybrids, and that would put them in a different league in itself. But I will say the next one on this list, Rize, has the potential to be the second strongest out of all of the hybrids. And that would mainly be because of the weapon that she's actually a hybrid with, a missile. And its destructive capability in comparison to the other weapons devils is a completely different beast. I don't think swords, a flamethrower, or whips are going to be able to keep up with the overall damage Rize can produce. Up next, we have our main character, Denji. But unfortunately, we are not counting his full Chainsaw Man form, because a full devil form wouldn't really be Devil Hunter-y, if you catch my drift. So Denji by himself is above the Katana Man and Rize and the other weapons hybrids, not only because he's Chainsaw Man, but he's actually defeated one of the top 3s on this list. And that's really due to just how unpredictable Denji could be. For example, he thought of an insane way to defeat the Eternity Devil by causing an endless loop of pain upon the Eternity Devil by constantly drinking blood and damaging him. But not only this, due to his unorthodox way of thinking, he was also able to trick both Rize and the Katana Hybrid by cutting the Katana Hybrid in half and by dousing Rize with water. Not only is he extremely dangerous because of Kishibe's training, but he is a weapons hybrid that is literally unpredictable. Even after consuming a piece of the Darkness Devil, Santa Claus could not predict or comprehend Denji's behaviors. I think in a leveled fight, this disgusting amount of unpredictability easily makes him beat everybody underneath him on this list. After all, it was this same unpredictability that allowed him to beat Makima, someone who is in the top 3, and Santa Claus. Up next, we have Kishibe. Not only did he mentor Denji, but he is the #1 hunter out of every single division, with only having contracts with the Knife, Needle, and Claw demons. And when you take into account that he is way past his prime, Kishibe is an absolute beast. Up next, we have Quan Chi, who used to be Kishibe's partner. She's actually the first devil hunter ever, and she is known as the strongest human on Earth, supposedly. And get this, she is also a hybrid as well, with super strength and super speed. To be on Kishibe's fighting level, have super strength and super speed, and be a hybrid, those alone should say enough about her placement on this list. Up next, we have Santa Claus. Santa Claus has contracts with the Doll Devil and the Hell Devil with the ability to actually banish you to hell. It's practically a one-shot because there's no way for you to get out of hell, and there is a chance that you might get overwhelmed by demons, and that includes the Darkness Devil. Santa Claus is so broken she is actually invincible, and the only way for her to be defeated was for the Cosmos Fiend to actually use Halloween on her and overload her brain so all she can think about is Halloween. If Santa Claus didn't get hit by an attack of this nature, it would practically be impossible to kill her because not only would she be able to regenerate instantaneously by darkness, she could consume blood or just take over one of the doll's bodies that she's already made. Not only this, Santa Claus is so broken after consuming a small piece of the Darkness Devil, aka the strongest devil in all of Chainsaw Man at the moment. Despite the powers that she's displayed during her fight with Denji, that wasn't even a fraction of her power because the same powers that she received from the Darkness Devil would have continuously evolved over time. She is easily number 2 on this list, no questions asked. Now before we reveal the number 1, let's go over some honorable mentions. These are people who are devil hunters but they don't have enough information, so I didn't bother adding them on the list. Fushi, Furuno, Madoka, Subaru, Kurose, Tendo, Tamaoki, and Sugihagi. Now as for the strongest devil hunter in all of Chainsaw Man, we have Makima. Not only does she have a broken move with her hacks where if she believes you as lesser than her, she can automatically control you, but she has all of the weapons hybrids under her command in some of the strongest devils in the series, which includes the Gun Devil, Punishment Devil, Future Devil, Zombie Devil, and Angel Devil. She's used plenty more within the series, but I'm not going to get into all that. Just know that the amount of tools at her disposal are absolutely disgusting and nobody can stand a chance against her. Not a single regular devil hunter for that matter. Makima is in a different league entirely because with the Gun Devil alone, not a single devil hunter would be able to kill him and she can actually control him. And this is not including her strength, combat ability, or force manipulation strong enough to rival even the Darkness Devil. Now with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and sub if you like Chainsaw Man, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next Chainsaw Man video.